Devilfish Bay Radio.
Recording started, and then silence. Okay. Hi, hello, hi, welcome back. Welcome back to Devilfish Bay Radio, which I still can't. Wait, you have to say it fast.
Well, wait, you say it fast. Wait, I say it slow.
Yeah, you say the slow way.
Welcome back to Devilfish Radio.
I should make that the intro.
I
I'm
know
cutting that piece. Yeah.
Oh my god.
Welcome to Devilfish Bay Radio. Yay! It just the ending of the thing. Anyway, sorry. I am the author or writer of The Girl Who Loved Monsters. And I am here with
I am Ashley Robin Franklin. I am the illustrator of The Girl Who Loved Monsters.
Look at us. We both have it today.
We're ready.
So today is a very special day. Every day is a very special day when I get to talk to Ashley, but today is a very, very special day because we get to talk about these three. We get to talk about our kids.
Babies.
They're just little guys, and they're going on a big, big adventure. So again, if you kind of skipped all of the episodes where we were talking about The Girl Who Loved Monsters, The Girl Who Loved Monsters is about a girl named Charlotte who ends up reading a mysterious book that was in her library, that creepy one, and she has to go and kind of figure out what's happening with her best buds, Molly and Griffin. And you see that moon up there? That might be an indication of what's about to happen. And we talk about that last episode. So go back and listen to that. Because today we get to talk about our kids, our babies, our little ones.
They're little.
They're little.
Okay.
They're little.
They're like they're like in middle school. They would be so mad. Middle schoolers would not like to be called babies. That's like the thing that makes them so mad.
So upset. And especially like I work in the children's department of a library, and they get upset when you think of them as nothing else but what the age they are. Like it's like, but you're a baby.
I work at a bookstore and I'm like the children's bookselling lead. So I also talk to children a lot. And yeah, like the moment that there's 2 digits in their age, they want to be a teen, and you're like, you're not a teen, you're 11. You're a little baby. But you mustn't talk to them like that. And I will not talk to the wonderful readers who will be middle grade readers of this book. If you're a middle grade reader of this book, you are not a baby. You are a wonderful individual with your own opinions and your own interests, and you're special in like a cool way, not in like a like, oh, you're special. Like I mean it in like you're a person. And I'm just old. So I'm gonna, in my head, I might think you're a baby, but in my heart, I know that you're not. You're a person. And I respect you.
You have feelings and emotions and a lot of things that are coming at you and a lot of things that are changing. Trust. You kind of have to go forth. Do you. Never change. No. You could end up like us, who are cool individuals.
Never change, but also change. Because you're growing and you're learning and you're changing in a good way. Hopefully that will make you more of the person that you really are, not less. Yes. Be weird. Be a weird kid.
Be weird. Stay weird.
Yeah. Yes, please.
Watch Gravity Falls once, and then you will forever know that is the peak. Yeah. Like you could grow up to be that cool and even cooler.
It's a fact.
So, I guess let's start with one of the cool things about this book, which are not only the kids, but 2 of the weird tropes that kind of just like etched itself together and mush mashed. So the trip of, like, kids on bikes and monster hunters, would
Mhm.
you like to tell our lovely, lovely, lovely listeners and watchers what the kids on bikes trope is?
Yeah. So, I mean, you know it, even if you're like, "Oh, I don't know that trope," like, it is so permeated in media, especially, like, stuff that is, featuring young people, like tweens, teens, like adventure stories, horror, and other stuff too. But, like, think of Stand By Me, It, more recently, Stranger Things, it's kids on bikes. It's, I think I've also heard it called, like, free range children, but I think kids on bikes is more evocative because it's like they're always on bikes. Uh, and so this is, like, often in genre fiction, but not always, Stand By Me, um, and, like, My Girl, I feel like people could consider, kids on bikes. So sometimes it's, like, in a drama, but very frequently it's, like, a genre fiction thing. We are doing horror, we are doing sci-fi, we're doing adventure, and it is a group of kids, um, having some sort of big adventure, whether this is, like, fighting monsters or, like ET could be kids on bikes. Um, or it could also be like some sort of big like coming of age moment more internally, like My Girl or something where it's like you're learning about uh yourself and about your friendships and about death and about growing up. And so it is a type of coming of age story usually. And yeah, they're on the bikes. They're group of friends. We're going through the woods. We're having discussions. We're learning things. We're free. We're
Love
out
it.
there. The adults have let you loose, and you are out there in the world.
And a lot of, like, the one thing that I love, and I think you said it when we were talking about potentially doing this too, is just this, like, what are kids gonna ride? Their bikes. They're not gonna ride
Yeah,
a car. They're not gonna ride a
they're kids.
motorcycle. They're not gonna ride they're kids. Like, let them be kids.
Yeah, and it's so like it is such a specific age group. Like they can be like a little younger, up to like teens, but it is like there's this sense of like, they're pushing the boundaries of childhood right there because 'cause they're spending time alone or outside of, like, adult interference, but they're not fully grown up, they don't have cars yet, they're not, like there's something about it that is, um it's just, like, so specific to that part of adolescence, um, and also it does have this kind of, like, nostalgic tint to it because I mean, kids are still riding bikes, kids are always riding bikes, but there is this, like when you think about kids kinda just being, like, let loose in the world with their friends on their bikes, it does feel kind of like maybe more of a '70s, '80s, like, they're pre-stranger danger, panic, kinda thing. Um, and so it can, like, still take place now, but it often has that, like, feel of nostalgia, which I think is
Mhm.
why, like, Stranger Things or, like, Super 8 are examples of it.
Also, like, the one big thing, and this is kinda going with, like, how you said, like, with the time that it is, it's also, like, the less technology and the more, like, get outside and play.
Mhm.
Like, how we used to have, like, oh god, what was it called? It was the Nickelodeon, like, State of Play,
Mm,
where it
mhm.
forced you almost to, like, "Hey, stop, like, looking at TV, go
Mhm.
outside, get on your bike, go and play," and a lot of it was in, like, how you said, like, the like, the '60s, '70s, and '80s, and a little bit of it in the '90s as well. Because I
Mhm.
remember, like, being like, "I'm just gonna go on my bike and, like,
Mhm.
ride around for a little bit, and then come back home, and then hope my bike doesn't get stolen," like,
Yeah.
'cause I left it outside, like,
Yeah.
but it's it's always so wild to see it, especially, like, in Stranger Things where, like, there is, like, a limited amount of technology, so, like, their interaction is just going outside,
Mhm.
going on bikes, riding on bikes, doing all the things that they need to do, which Stranger Things, be hearing from me, Stranger Things. Be hearing from me.
Oh.
Um, but no, but you're so right. You're so right. Like, I I miss the days where, like, I used to see, like, kids just ride bikes. It sounds so weird, but it's just like, "Go back on
Ye
your bike.
Go on your bike.
Go on your
Yeah.
bike."
It's like yeah, it's I don't know, there's something about it that, yeah, is so it's tough. It's because it's like I get why there's this, like, fear of letting kids go on their own, and, like, I'm not a parent, so I have no, like, "This is what you should do," kind of thing, but it does have such a dated,
Yeah.
like, nostalgic feel to it. And the other thing I'll say about it is it's always a group, it's like it's not kid on bike. It's like you and your friends and you're out exploring the world. And something that is pretty common in both older examples of this in media and like still now is almost always like 4 or 5 white boys, and then 1 or 2 other characters. There's, like, 1 black friend, 1 girl
Yep,
who wears, like, a baseball cap, you know?
yep, yep.
Um,
The
a
it factor.
and so, like, there are, like, more contemporary examples that aren't doing that, like, I can think of, like, The Vanquishers, which is a middle grade book, from, like, a few years ago, but, like, Paper Girls, which is, like that was, like, a whole group of girls. Um, but, like, even now, there are pieces of media that I think are really great that are great examples of this, but I'm still, like, looking at the kids on the bikes, and I'm like, "Okay, alright." "Okay, Peter and Gregory and Dave, like, you go
And
have your
Ben.
adventure." Yeah. Uh, whatever. Um, so I think it's cool that that is so present, that trope in this book. We like on the cover, we literally see 2 of them on their bikes.
Mhm.
But they are not that, which is cool. That we've got like I mean, I feel like this book has such good representation in general. Like we've got like majority black cast, we've got like m- uh female lead, we've got like queer representation. And so it's like awesome to see that trope, like, not subverted, but just, like, made fresh and, like, added to, and yeah, it's good. It's good to do that. It's good to be
No.
like, yeah, all kids wanna ride their bikes and have adventures.
It's so it's so, like it's so funny that you mentioned, like, the diversity issue as well, because I think, like, the first time that I ever saw, like, a kid on a bike that, like, looked like me, this is kinda wild, and I need everybody to be prepared for this, is when, I saw the cover of The Vanquishers, because,
That's
like, I
recent.
yeah, because I was just like, "Oh," like, I've never actually, like, seen somebody who, like, looks like me, like, actually, like, in media, like, doing
Mhm.
it. Like, I've
Mhm.
seen, like, the It's, and I've seen, like, the Stranger
Mhm.
Things and stuff like that. I do count Lucas in this, but I kinda also don't because, like, they kinda other him almost immediately from, like, what's going on in the main story.
Mhm.
Stranger Things creators when I catch you.
Yeah.
But, like
They've done a lot of things that I'm like y'all are a good example for this moment because this is media that a lot of people have seen, but I'm
Mhm,
not saying go watch like, if you have it, I'm sure you already everyone has seen at least a bit of it, but it's like, this is not a recommendation, this is just an example.
mhm, yes, 'cause it's one of those where it's just kind of like like I've seen it and I've seen it, but like I've never seen it done in a way where I'm just like, "Oh, that, like, feels more right." And especially, like, as a Black kid who was on a bike and who tried to learn how to, like, skateboard and stuff like that, it's very, like it's almost, like, uncommon for me to see, like, out in the real world, but at the same exact time, seeing it in media twice as hard. So thank you, Kaylin, for doing that. It changed my
Mm.
trajectory.
Mm.
Um, and then like putting that into this book made it kind of just so like great. I don't get to like no offense to the kids on bikes now, but it's just like I get to see more kids who look like me on bikes, and I get to see more representation of like people who look like me, people who look like everybody, and who are queer and who are like anything like
Mhm.
on like in this trope, and it's just
Mhm.
not like we put him there. We just put him there to put
Just
him
put
there.
them
It's just
there. Yeah.
like, this has a purpose, this has a meaning, and this has, like,
Mhm.
a push forward. So, like,
Yeah.
because 'cause I'm tired of seeing these K like no, not Caleb, Kyles on bikes.
Kyle's on
Get
bikes.
them, get them. Oops, all Kyles. Get them
Oh my
off
god.
the bikes.
Yeah, and it's also like yeah, it is something it's like, I know that people it's so annoying and, like, needlessly tricky whenever you are playing with, like, a trope that feels so nostalgic for some people
Mhm.
that they, like I don't know, like, I feel like it's, like, not even it's not, like, a thing that gets actual pushback or anything r real, it's just, like, more the things that get kind of, like that capture the public and, like, get the praise and get to become, like, the big pieces of media, but it is, like there's something about when something feels really nostalgic and it gets to also be made, uh, with other people in it that aren't just like I don't know, like, I feel like people have such a what I'm trying to say is, like, something sometimes nostalgia means something really specific to a kind of, like white American male, you know? It's like both tropes that are so, like, these are our tropes, this is our childhood, whatever, and it's, like, also, like, when things get reboots or, like, pieces of, like, legacy media get new, um, like, new creators working on them or whatever, you know, I'm thinking of, like, something like whenever She-Ra got made into, like, an animated thing or whatever, you know, like, that kinda thing.
Yeah. Mhm.
Or like whenever Disney's live action reboots happen, which those shouldn't happen anyway, but like so they're bad. But like when people are all like, "This is from my childhood. This is," but you know, it's like I don't know. It's cool when people get to play with those things that aren't just those people because it's like, do you think you're the only people who had a childhood? You know,
Yes.
it's like, do you think did
Yes.
you invent the bicycle, sir? It's just, like, wacky, or, like, do you think that, like yeah, like, this magic girl with a big sword is, like, a real person? Like, I don't know, like, it just all I'm trying to say is that it's, like, really cool to see things that a lot of people have loved and have this kind of, like, um, different attachment to from, like, their own childhoods get to reflect them and reflect the people they know and the way the world actually is, like
Yeah.
is cool. That's it. That's I'm just like, yeah.
Yes. Like, it's very hard to kind of, like, be in that, like, ecosystem, right? Like, it's hard to kind of just go, like to hear all these people just go, "Oh my god, like, you're ruining this for me." It's just like, my god, like,
Yeah.
it's gonna be okay. You still have the original piece of media.
Yeah.
Don't get this twisted. Like, that's not gonna be taken away from you.
We're
Like
gonna take it away. We're gonna take it we're gonna
full
they're gonna
threat.
get the we're gonna get all the reels, all the film, we're gonna burn it, and then we're gonna Men in Black their memories. We're gonna
I'm
get the
gonna
little
do a
and
gonna
they're
do a
like
Florence Stoker on you.
yeah, and then boop, that's
That's for the that's for the deep history.
it.
But speaking of that too, like, monster hunters are also a thing that people are just like, "Please,
Yeah.
dear God, don't mess with that." And monster hunters, for anybody who don't know, they're like, from the way that I can only describe it, and please, Ashley, like, correct me if I'm wrong. Monster hunters are basically or essentially like people are hunters who fight monsters. They can have special tools, they can fight whatever monsters they need to. So like a vampire, a werewolf, an
Mhm,
alien, a dragon, whatever floats that monster hunter's boat.
mhm.
They could specialize in that or they could specialize in all monsters. Um, do they have magic? Probably.
Sometimes. Yeah.
Yeah. Do they have weapons? All the time.
Mhm.
Specialty weapons? Most likely.
Mhm, mhm,
But they are basically people who kind of, like, help protect, like, kind of your everyday average
mhm.
or, like, other people from monsters, which is a cool thing, and
Yeah.
I know for this book in particular, that was another thing that I really wanted to play with, and you do so perfectly well within, like, the art. We play with, like, these monster hunter tropes and,
Mm,
like, how we can kind of, like, bend them and sway them to connect with kids, um, and kinda do some fun stuff with some of the weapons that they have, the knowledge that they have
mhm,
too. Spoilers, but not really spoilers. One of the big things that helps them out is obviously, like, Charlotte's knowledge of monsters and
sh
Charlotte's knowledge of, like, monster tropes.
she's the girl who loved monsters, so she knows what she's talking about. Yes.
Like, as a whole ass encyclopedia from her mom, made little monster comics with Molly, like, all this, like,
She's been
backstory
trained,
nostalgia stuff.
and
This
she doesn't even know.
her whole life,
Yeah.
her whole life. Um, but that's, like, one cool thing about this book that I really wanted to kinda, like, hone in on too, because it's kinda just like, well, you don't really get to see a lot of people who also look like me fight monsters,
Mhm,
and that was really important, especially a lot of people who, like, actually have, that serious, like, knowledge like Charlotte does,
mhm, mhm,
about monsters to be like, "No, I can actually, like, do something about this. I'm not gonna, like, let this thing happen."
mhm.
Um but what do you think about Monster Hunters? What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, it's f I feel like it's, like that's such a type of character that's, like they can be so cool, or also they can be so annoying depending on who you're rooting for in a piece of media. Um, but, like, the lineage is fun. It's like you've got a Van Helsing, you've got freaking Buffy. It's like there's so much there. Um, and I also think about, like, monster hunters, like, we're connecting that to Kids on Bikes. We've got, like, the Frog Brothers in, what am I trying to say? The Lost Boys.
Yes.
Those are some kids on bikes. They're, like, teens, but they're on their bikes and they got their little,
They
like
can.
they get to suit up, and have their weapons and stuff, or, like, also, like, Monster Squad comes to mind.
Oh my I need to watch that again. I
I
haven't
haven't seen
watched
that
it
in a
in so
minute.
long. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think I've seen it as an adult, so, like, I'm saying it, but, like, I don't know if it holds up, and I hope it does, and I guess we'll find out. We might both find out and be like or, like,
Here's my question, not related to, like, any of this. Have you ever seen Monster Club?
I don't know. I'm
It's
gonna look at this real quick.
it's starring, like, Vincent Price.
I don't think
When I
so, but I
when I
love
tell
Vincent
you
Price. Oh my
when I
god, wait,
tell
the
you
cover is so good. Yeah, tell me, please. I love him.
It's a weird movie. I recommend it if you do not want a straightforward storyline whatsoever. It's like an
Okay.
anthology movie that
Ooh, I
has,
love an
like
anthology movie.
yeah. Here's the thing about this one, though. It's not that great, but
Okay.
at the same time, the vibe's immaculate.
Yeah. Sometimes that's all you need. Like, you had me at Vincent Price and anthology movie, and so if it ends up being kinda stupid that I'm already happy.
It's there's a GIF from it floating or like, it's always been floating around, but it's from it, where it's just, like, there is a woman, like, on stage and, like, it's a burlesque dancer and, like, she takes off, like, her, like, bra and stuff like that, but then as she's, like, moving, you see, like, her take off, like, her skin and her, like,
I've seen
body.
that!
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. That's from Monster Club, and it's
Whoa!
so wild, but I was just like, "I don't know why that's here, but
Yeah.
the vibes are
No, that
immaculate."
that that is going on my must-watch list because I love that kinda thing, and I'm only gonna get off track for a single more moment just to say that the other day I rewatched Mask of the Red Death with Vincent Price. Have you
Mm.
seen it? It is so the vibes, the color, yeah, I hadn't seen it
So
in a million years, and it just, like and I watched with my partner, and they were like, "Yeah, this movie doesn't make that much sense, but it is, like, a visual feast." And it's like,
have
"That's all I
you
need."
have you ever seen I have to give you some, like, giallo movies. Like, if you're, like, comfortable with, like, Italian, like, murder mysteries that are
Yeah,
just kind of, like, a little bit more brutal, like a
yeah.
Blood and Black Lace, like, I
Okay,
feel like you would love the color palette of giallo movies.
okay,
Like
yeah. The little bit I've seen, I've liked the visual elements a
yes,
lot of.
yes, okay. I need to give you
Mhm.
that. Sorry.
No, you're yeah.
Sorry.
No, it's interesting and cool, and people love it. The audience is eating it up. Speaking of eating it up, back to monsters who sometimes eat
Yes.
people.
Those are good. That was
Thank you.
good.
Thank
That
you.
was so good. Um, I guess what are because, like, I think, like, we really did combine, like, these 2 in a
Mhm.
really, really great way. What are some of our not only Kids on Bikes movies, but also, like, our Monster Hunter Media movies? Like, I know, like,
Mm,
or Monster Hunter Media, Kids on Bikes Media,
mhm,
also, like, if we have them together.
mhm.
I know we mentioned a couple, but still.
Yeah. Something that I read recently that I really liked, I think I might have mentioned this to you, is, the middle grade novel, The Stars Did Wander Darkling, which is guilty of
Ooh,
the
yes.
thing of it's, I think 3 white boys and a girl. So it is guilty of the, like, we've got 3 boys and 1 extra person, crime. So take that with a grain of salt, but it is, like, super well written, and it made me excited for, like, what you can do in a middle grade book as far as, like, both craft, because I thought it was, like, honestly, like, up to, like, on par with, like, a lot of, like, adult, really strong fiction, and the, like, balance of things that are scary and also the balance of, like, how I feel like something that you don't get to do that much in kid lit is leave things vague, which is one of
Mm,
my favorite things in horror and also, like, like, other, like, genres like science fiction and, I don't wanna know how everything works, and it is satisfying when things aren't wrapped up in a bow, and this had the kind of ending that was both vague and really bittersweet in a way that I was like, "Okay, I want more of this." But, like, let's do a little better with some of the elements in the story for sure, but I think it was, like, the most recent Kids on Bikes, and they get to become monster hunters, um, piece of media that I've encountered that's not old.
I love the way that that sounds, and you're 1, you're absolutely right. The I think the sucky part about and this is not me kind of just, like, downing, like, "Oh, middle grade." Like, I love
Mhm.
writing for middle grade. I love it.
Mhm.
But the one thing that, like, kinda still, like, goes, like, it m it makes me sad is the fact that it all needs to be wrapped up,
Mhm.
and it all needs to be, like, in a tight bow with a little,
Yeah.
like, thing on top with a little note that says, like, "Here is your scare."
Yes.
And I'm like, "No, because like, if we pull that back and we don't tell them everything, it makes the mind wander, and I think that's what's really strong about, like, a lot of other horror movies. That's why,
Mhm.
like, a lot of horror sequels, I kind of am like, "I didn't need to know that. None of
No.
this needed to be explained to me." I was
Yeah.
good with understanding that, like, Jason Voorhees pops out, and, like, I don't know anything about him.
No. Yeah.
I'm absolutely okay with not knowing that history. Like, all the Michael Myers movies,
Mm-mm.
I'm good not knowing that history.
No. It's like,
That
make
man
the
is the
world bigger,
boogeyman.
not smaller.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Like, having there was one there was one movie that I had seen, that I don't wanna be vague about it, it's Psycho. So, here's the thing about Psycho. I love me some Psycho.
Psycho
Psycho's one of my
the Yeah, okay.
The Alfred Hitchcock
Yeah,
movie.
yeah.
Psycho's one of my favorite movies. It is not only just a suspenseful, like, nightmare because, like, you're
Mhm.
just watching this cutie pie Anthony Perkins, like, just
I
go at
know,
it.
Anthony. Yeah.
Like, my queer king, like,
Mhm, big
let's
time.
go.
Yeah.
But, like, the one thing that I wish that they didn't do was make sequels to it.
Yeah. But I
Because I
mean,
think Mhm.
I was gonna say that's one of those things that you can ignore the sequels, I feel like,
Yes.
because no one respects them. Where it's like your other example of, like, slashers, it's like people I don't know, like, I feel like the sequels are more tied. I'm
Yes.
like,
Yes.
"Yes," but some people don't even know their sequels, which, like, let them feel that way, you know?
I think you know what a better example of, like, I think of this is? The Conjuring movies, like The Conjuring, the Paranormal
Mm.
Activities, and stuff like that. It's just
Mhm.
like, I didn't need to know all of that. I'm so
No.
sorry about that. I just didn't need to know all that. I didn't need
Yeah.
to know where the nun comes from.
No, that's not my business. She's
Like
scary.
like, I didn't need to know where Annabelle comes from.
No.
That's y'all unlock that.
Yeah.
That's y'all problem now. But, like, I think it's, like, with those and just, like, the building off of not the not the story itself, but almost like the iconography of the
Mhm.
story, and it's kind of just like you are not getting anywhere. You're just regurgitating the same thing that you regurgitated to me back in that movie, and then you're kind of just like,
Yeah.
you're not I don't need to be handheld every time I look at something. Like, I'm okay with, like, it having an open ending and it being a thing that I just don't know. I
Yeah.
I just watched Obsession. I love not
Mm.
knowing what happens to her. Like, I
No, that's
love
'cause I want to be given the space to imagine. Like, that is a
Mhm.
gift that you are giving the audience is like, "Okay, it's over, now I have to sit with, oh, like, what could happen next?" And it's like, that's so
Yes.
much more rich because I can imagine, like, all these branching things that could happen. Um, yeah, no, I thought that that was, like, a really well done ending. And, like, to your point
Right?
about sequels, like, I feel like the only time a sequel really works is if it is doing something that makes the world bigger or makes the
Mhm.
mystery bigger or whatever it is. But, like, very frequently, it's making it smaller. It's, like, adding more rules, and so now you know the rules, so now the thing is less scary, or, like, you've gotten so much backstory that it's like, "What?" Like,
Yeah.
I don't care. I don't care about that. Um, like, I feel like the best sequels are, like I'm thinking about, like, either the sequel is super goofy and it is, like, like, you're just, like you're digging in and you're playing, like, I'm thinking of,
Mhm.
like, Gremlins 2, it's a better movie than first Gremlins. It's so fun, but it needs that first one to be a little more serious to work.
Yes.
Um, or like, uh, Nightmare on Elm Street, Wes Craven's
Ooh,
A New
yes.
Nightmare. That movie is
Yes.
so scary because you're doing
It's
something meta and you're, like, making the world so much more expansive and changing the rules that you established in all these sequels. Or, talking about Jason X, where he goes to space.
yeah,
That movie's awesome.
exactly.
That's
Lean
such a good
in.
movie. Yep.
Like, lean in.
We
Like,
literally
Jason
made the
X
world bigger to go to
yes!
space.
Like, Jason X is, like, one of those movies that is just like, I don't even care. I don't even care anymore. Like, just
No.
give it to me. Give it to me
Yeah,
and, like,
yeah.
show it to me, and I'm good. Like, another movie that does that too is, like oh, fuck. Um, it is in a line of movies, and I just had it in my head. Oh, no. It went away.
Is it
Oh,
newer or
no.
older?
It's older, and it's no! Evil Dead.
Mhm.
Evil Dead. Like, every single I will say this with my full chest, every single iteration of Evil Dead, even though I'm so sorry to some people, please do not turn this off. I do not like Army of Darkness, but it did something interesting. And then every one of them afterwards, it does something interesting. It
Mm.
expands the world and brings it out instead
Yeah,
of like homing it
keep
back in.
going. Out, out, out.
And
Yeah.
yes, and, like, even how you said, like, with the first, like, movie, it had to be serious. Like, it had to
Mhm.
be, like, somewhat of serious, and then you get to the second movie, and that shit is goofy as
We're
hell. You get to the
goofing.
third movie, I don't like, where like, why are we in medieval time?
I don't
Thank you,
know,
though, I
but
guess.
I don't know
So then,
why.
like, you get to, like, the television shows, you're like, "Sure, why
Yeah.
not?" Evil Dead 2013 is one of my favorite movies of all time because we just, like not only was that twist incredible, but you expanded.
And I haven't seen it. Isn't that wacky? I know. I
I need I need please.
This the reason that is because if a movie is I'm really excited about a movie, I wanna see it in theaters, and if I somehow miss it, if something happens and I don't see it in theaters, it is I don't know why, it just, like it becomes something that I just, like it takes me forever to watch. Even if something I'm, like, super interested in, like, if I
Yeah,
miss that opportunity, I have this, like I don't know, I'm just, like I know that if I rent it immediately after the theatrical release, I will be at home, and if I'm loving it, I'll be like, "Oh, this would have been so much better in a movie theater
yeah.
because I love the
I was like that with
movies."
I was like that with Obsession.
Yeah.
I was so bummed that I didn't get to see it in the movies that,
I
like, when I saw it, like, at home, I
Yeah.
was just like, "I shoulda saw this. I
I
shoulda just went."
know. It was
Like, I
really
shoulda just went to the
good.
Alamo, dude. Like
But, like, I don't have an excuse because that was now so long ago. Like, for Evil Dead. Like, it wasn't just, like, 6 months ago. It was, like, I don't know, quite a while. So, I
No, I mean, listen, it's still there.
Okay,
You could absolutely watch it, and then,
I'll
like,
watch it.
did you watch Evil Dead Rise?
No, because I didn't see I was like, "Okay, I'm like, I've missed my train. I've gotta"
You gotta go back. We gotta go back to the original station. You
Okay,
gotta
I gotta
see,
get on
like,
the
Evil Dead
station.
2013 and Evil Dead Rise, and then
Okay,
Evil Dead Burn is out right now,
I
which I
know.
was kinda surprised at. I was just like, "Oh, that's, like, soon."
Yeah,
Um, and yeah,
I missed my
no.
train.
No, you didn't. No, you didn't. We can still run after the train. This is this is a romance for you to get to Evil Dead.
Wait! I never said I loved you. Uh, wait, okay, well, I wanna go back on track, but I want one more example, which
Yeah.
is, um, a example of something that's doing it right now that's expanding the world, which we've gotten a bit off track, but that's okay, is the, 28 years later. Those are doing such
Yes!
a good job of making the world bigger and, like, following and I love that they made it so that the 3rd one didn't exist.
Yes!
No one cares about that movie, it wasn't good. It was, like, fine, but that was they were closing the loop, they were closing the world. And so I'm
Yes.
glad that they were just like and then they you know?
Yes. Thank you, 'cause I was like, I always feel mental when I'm just like, "No, they're like, these, like, new ones are so
They're
good."
so good.
And then, like, that last one that was in that original, I don't know what that is. Don't call me.
No,
I'm not gonna call you. I'm never gonna watch
no,
you.
we're not
Like, we're
friends.
lucky I watched that second one, but that first
Mhm.
one is
It's
amazing. And,
bonkers good.
like, oh, but yes, um, this isn't okay, so going back to, like, the question,
Oh my
this
gosh.
isn't a
Wait, did you answer? Are you going back to that? Because I said
yes.
one, and you're gonna answer. Okay, I was like, I didn't wanna skip over your answer. I wanna know it. Okay.
It's not okay, full disclosure, it's not a favorite, but
Okay.
it's, like, something that, like, like, the kind of thing, like, you just it's just a thing that, like, if you go back to it, it's there,
Mhm.
and I'm not gonna not watch it, I'm not gonna watch the new ones, but
Oh,
I'm not gonna read the book,
oh,
but I
what could
will
it
go
be?
back to the original movie. It's It. I
Mhm.
I will not read that book ever again. One time in high school was enough.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
That was enough for me. And I will not watch the, Andy Muschietti movies because I have very strong opinions about them that nobody wants to hear.
Okay.
However,
I only saw
that
the first one
original
of the new ones.
oh,
Yeah. And then I was like, I heard but I was like, "I don't need to watch that." That's okay.
you don't need to watch
Okay.
it. It's not no, no. Mm-mm. Save
Okay.
yourself.
Okay. I
Watch
will.
Evil Dead
Okay,
2013.
I'll watch that.
Uh, but, like, the original movie of It,
Mhm.
chef's kiss.
Yeah.
Like, between the monster hunting, between the
Mhm.
kids on bikes, between, like, honestly, like, all of the emotions and the feelings
Mhm.
and the riding the wave of, like, being a teenager back in that time and then also being an adult, also,
Mhm.
like, trying to, like, figure out, like, what is happening in home life to, like, riding your
Mhm.
bike and going to somewhere to be like, "This isn't my home, like, this is an adventure now with my friends." Like,
Yeah.
it makes me like, I know I did not live in the '80s, I was born in '90, but, like, it makes me feel a little bit nostalgic in a weird
Mhm.
way, and I don't know, there's something about that original movie that, like,
Yeah.
hits so different. Honestly, a lot of, like even, like this isn't a kids on bike movie, but it's kinda is, even, like, Silver Bullet
I've never seen it.
oh, man, like, it's a werewolf movie,
Yeah.
and it's
Okay.
very it's goofy, but in, like, a very sincere way,
When is it from?
and ooh, god, hold on, wait a
Okay.
minute. Silver Bullet. 85.
85. Okay.
Yeah,
Cool.
and it's very sweet, but at the same exact time, it's one of those
Oh, wait,
movies
this
that,
looks
like
awesome.
it's so Gary Busey is the most Gary Busey he ever Gary Busey in that movie. Like,
Wow.
if you've ever just like, man, Nicolas Cage is, like, going, like, real hard for, like, no reason, Gary Busey goes real hard for, like, no reason.
Whoa.
But
Okay,
it's
yeah, I'm
so
gonna watch that. That
wonderful.
looks awesome.
It's so cute. Yeah, but those 2. Stephen
Mhm.
King does a really good, like,
Yeah.
I'll go and do the thing, except for
Yeah.
the long walk. They don't
I
get to ride bikes in the long walk.
oh, I don't know. I don't know the long walk. What's the long walk? What's the long walk?
It's like it's a small town where these kids or these boys are entered in, like, a competition where they have to, like, walk,
Oh, I've heard of
and it's
this.
like
Yeah.
yeah, and, if they stop walking, they die.
I don't like that.
It's not fun. The
I
book
don't like that.
the book is great, the
Okay.
movie that just came out is also really good, but
Okay.
they don't get to ride
They don't
bikes.
get to ride bikes. Should be
Never be in a competition.
the long bike. That's what it should be called. And it's like all the kids are on one long bike and they have to all pedal in perfect unison or the bike is gonna fall and they're gonna drop into the lava.
That
That's
is the
my
perfect horror
Stephen
movie.
King. Yeah.
That is that is the perfect, like, horror comic release, dear God. Like, I'm begging you, please draw that. Then, like, 2 kids are just, like, falling out of the
Yeah.
lava thing. Oh my god.
Um,
Ah.
but yeah, it is, like the movie It, not just It, uh, is like the example. Like,
Yeah.
it's like it's just like, if you think of kids on bikes, Like, that's, like, the one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then, like, only secondary now to, Stranger Things, you
Yeah.
know? So,
She's like,
we're there.
"Whatever."
Duffer Brothers when I get
Yeah.
my hands on you.
Wait, you know what
Um
is I'm sorry. You know what
No,
is
yeah.
technically as Kids on Bikes? You're gonna love this. Alvin and the Chipmunks Meet the Wolfman. They ride their bikes. They are on bikes, and they're monster
Stop.
hunters, and they literally have the big book of monsters. Alvin is and Charlotte are like this. They're like
Oh.
yeah, when you think about it. When you think about it, that's like they're almost the same thing.
I
This book
legitimately need
and
to rewatch this movie.
it's a
Watch
banger.
out.
Yeah,
Watch this movie.
it's a banger. This is my true recommendation. This is what I'm giving. You're giving all these, like, scary movies, and I'm giving Alvin and the Chipmunks Meet the Wolfman.
Listen,
And it's
we
good. It's a good
we balance.
movie.
It's so good.
Yeah.
Like, I remember seeing it so many times as a kid because, like, that was also on with Scooby-Doo and the Ghoul School because I love Scooby-Doo
Mm,
and the Ghoul School.
mhm,
Um, but speaking of kids and speaking of, you know, kids who ride bikes and
mhm,
monster hunters,
mhm,
let's talk about Charlotte, Molly, and
mm.
Griffin.
They're
Ah,
our little trio.
our trio. Um, they are some of the coolest kids
Mhm.
that I've ever gotten to write, and,
Mm.
like, I'm very grateful that Ashley got to draw because, like, again, like, we said it in another episode, it's just, like, they're so fucking cool.
They're cool.
Um
They're cool kids. They're cool people. Like, they're kids, but they're also just cool people, which I feel like kind of circles back to the like I was joking around that they're our babies and they are our babies, but it's like, it's like these are just cool people and they're young.
Yeah,
And they're dealing
yeah,
with all those things that young people have to deal with, but like they're just like literally interesting people who are gonna keep being interesting as they age.
yes, yes. That was, like that was one of the really important parts about this. It's just, like, you like, how I do wanna say this with my full chest because I see this in the library all the time. Talk to kids like they are people.
Yeah.
Never talk down to
Mm-mm.
a kid.
No.
Kids understand you. Kids will feel what you feel. Kids can understand, like, all of this stuff. It's just you have to talk
Yeah.
about it.
They're literally people.
Always talk. Yeah. Communication always key, especially at the age of when we write, like, at, like, this age group of like what we have, which is like 8 to 12. Those are really important times where, like, you kind of see like personalities happen, and you see like them blossoming into these like cool beings and cool people. So, like, communicate, talk, just make sure that you're there and make sure that um you know you guys are in this together. That's really important. um and that's the one thing that, like, I know we're gonna talk about, like, emotions and feelings later, but, like, at the same time, it's just kinda like, I wanna get reiterate communication is very much key when it comes to a kid.
Yeah.
And when it comes, like, this is for the adults. Now for the
Mhm.
kids, communication is really, really important when you're feeling things that you don't understand. Talk to an adult or
Yeah.
talk to your adult or
Talk
talk
to your
to
friends
an adult.
too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
talk to your friends, talk to anybody who you trust and who you feel can understand you. Um, Communication,
Yeah.
never ever
And
doubt that.
adults need that message too. There's so many adults that
Yeah.
and it's like even I know that there are times where I'm like, "Dang, if I just communicated this thing, this would have
Yeah.
been so much easier instead of letting my weird feelings fester or like thinking I knew what someone else was thinking when I didn't because I didn't ask them." So it's like, yeah, kids need to learn that and adults need to, I think, learn it or relearn it like for their whole lives maybe, unless they're like,
Mhm.
I don't know, like a therapist or something. I think that they even need to probably keep learning that.
Yeah. you'll always keep and that's the thing too, right? Like, you'll always keep learning, with other people, with feelings, with your feelings, with what you want, what you know, what you need, what you and just keep communicating that and keep understanding that, like, any feeling that you have can be communicated, and any feeling that you have can be talked
Yeah.
through. It's not like anything is off limits unless you're talking about things that are off limits. Don't go to jail. But other than that,
You can still
like,
probably talk about them though to somebody.
yeah, like, talk about going to jail.
Yeah. Just like, if you got
Don't though.
then yeah, be careful.
Yeah. Bail money's not free.
No, it's
It's money.
money.
Yeah.
We both say. Um
So, I guess going back on track, sorry to, like,
No,
tangent,
you're
but,
good.
so who are Charlotte, Molly, and Griffin? So, Charlotte, Molly, and Griffin. So, Charlotte first is, um, this little cutie pie. This
Yeah,
little
she's
cutie
our
pie.
main girl. She is who
Um,
you spend the most time with. You're really close to her thoughts and feelings, you're right on her shoulder for the book for the most
yes.
part.
Yes, and she has a lot of thoughts and feelings and big old feelings that we will get into, but she is our main girly pop. Loves horror, loves
Mhm.
anything that has to deal with monsters, obviously it's in the title, and she reads this guy. She loves books. That's a really big factor as well. And then this is Molly, our green-haired alien super queen.
She's like the
Loves any
cool weird girl.
yes. Love anything aliens, love anything weird, loves art, with her full chest, and her and Charlotte here's a, like, little tidbit that I can actually say. Her and Charlotte used to make, like, little zines together when they first lived together or lived next to each other.
Mhm.
They now live next to each other. Who knows if they're gonna be doing that again? And
Mhm.
then Molly's twin is Griffin, which is little guy right here.
Yeah.
Um, Griffin is one of those people who they are very quiet in the action. They're
Mhm.
like, if you kind of see Griffin as something, he's like the survivalist in a lot of horror movies. Like, he rides or dies for his sister and his and his best friend.
Yeah. He's, like, thoughtful and a little more quiet, where Molly is like, "Ah,"
Yeah, yeah.
which
Like,
makes them a
his
good
sibling
foil for each other.
yes. And his sibling has more of a like, Molly has more of a, almost contemptuous relationship with Charlotte, but, like, not exactly. Charlotte more has a contemptuous relationship with
There we
her.
go.
Um, and then Griffin is just there, like how Ashley said, like, Griffin is just there to, like, very much, like, balance the scales,
Mm.
and we see more of him, though, start to blossom and shine and come into play in the next book.
Mhm,
Plug.
mhm,
But for right now, this first book is very much, like, kinda centering on, obviously, Charlotte, uh, and I kinda wanna ask I know, like, we both had, like, different ways of and we talked about it before too,
mhm.
like, different ways of going about, like, making them and, like, how we chose what we chose and how we did what we did, but kinda going, like, back into it a
Mhm.
little bit, how was the process, like, kind of going and then we'll go into, like, feelings and emotions because I get really emotional and feely when it comes to them, but how did it feel, like and what was your process too of, like, making them and
Mm.
kind of, like, making the choices and doing all these things? How did you make these kids so cool?
Well, I had a really good you really gave me an idea of them, like, you had, like, character descriptions, but you also had Pinterest boards, and you had music, and it's like, it was helpful to know not just, like, what they look like, Or like, I don't know, I feel like a character she can be kind of like, this is Sam and she likes basketball. But it's like, this is Charlotte and this is what her relationship is to her dad and to her dog and to Molly and Griffin, and like these are movies and books she likes, and there's so, and like this is like the kind of music she listens to, and there was like so much there to start pulling from. And then I was also thinking like, I want the characters to be really distinguishable, like so you know, Charlotte has like big messy hair, and she like will like dresses different than Molly. Like she wears like dresses sometimes and skirts, and Molly's a little more like not tomboy, but she's just like cool. I don't know. And she wears her like there's just like something different about them. So just like thinking of things that like differentiate them all from each other, including like I made Molly taller, just like stuff like that. So thinking about like making sure their body types are differentiated. Um, and then yeah, like looking at the stuff that you gave me and then doing deeper dives if there was like, okay, well, like I'm thinking like how would, Molly wear her hair, or like because there's like so many different ways for people to signal who they are by all these different choices. It's like, especially when you're a kid, I feel like that's so important. Like you're discovering yourself and you're like developing your own personal style, whether that's like with your like fashion or like music or all that. And so thinking of like, what are the things that they're drawn to, that they're putting in their closet, stuff like that. Cause like I feel like it could be easy to be like, oh, this is like what kids wear or whatever, but it's like it's not what do kids wear, it's what does Charlotte wear.
Yeah.
And trying to make that like not like cohesive, like it's like all matchy matchy, but there is like an undertone of like her taste that I feel like makes her feel a little more well-rounded than just like just throwing random outfits on her, or like making her hair always the same, or whatever.
Yeah. And even when they don't match, like, even because like, there was a there was a page of Charlotte in the first book, and I think also, like, a drawing of Charlotte in the second book where I go, "Yup, that's exactly the vibe. That's exactly it." Because it's kinda just, like, even, like, if it's, like, this shirt and this pants, like, don't match, it's just, like it's also, like, they're figuring it out.
Mhm.
Like, that's what they wanna wear, that's the vibe, and it's but it was so also, can I just say that the choice to make Molly a little bit taller was so fun. It was so cool, and I, like, literally go, "Oh my god,
There's just
she's
like
taller than them."
there's just something about I was thinking about like the kind of personality she has. I feel like I had this like idea of her being like a little bit like lanky and like kind of like one of those kids who's gonna like they're gonna put their feet up on the desk, or like so I feel like a lot of that has to do with like the way that she presents and like her personal style too.
Yes,
And also like
yes.
I don't know, kids all have different like they're all like kids are people and they all look different, and so I wanted to make sure that I wasn't like everyone I don't know, just looks like the same, like that's not interesting to draw, and that makes it more confusing for the reader.
Yeah, yeah, and that's I think that's why a lot of the time and again, I cannot praise you enough, like, legitimately cannot praise you enough about, like, the this we talked about hair, like, once. Like, I think, like, once, and I was like because I remember saying to someone that, like I think it was, like, our old editor, shout out to Kelsey if you're watching, thank you so much for everything you've done, and you're amazing. Um, and I remember saying to her once that I was just like, "I would really like for, like, Molly to have the different hair," but I said that after I had talked to you about it,
Mhm.
and then you were so gun ho about it because spoilers for the Black experience. A lot of what like I go through and stuff like that has been in relation to my hair and how
Mhm.
I present my hair. So with Molly and Charlotte especially kind of having those different hairstyles really kind of meant a lot to me. And so like I just want to thank you again, like in out loud that like thank you for like taking that ball and like running with
Yeah.
it. Because that meant so much in a way that I can't really even explain.
And thank you for like, I mean, you gave me a lot of good, like, we talked a little bit and we sent, like, shared some, like, images on Pinterest and stuff. And so it was super helpful to be like, these are like to have a starting point and then be like, okay. And then now I'm like thinking about hairstyles that are like literally possible on her hair and also like what goes with her personality, especially with, I feel like Molly's the person who has like the most interesting hairdos just because she's like, she's the weird girl, you know? So it's like Charlotte will do different hairstyles, but she often has her hair like down and she has this very like, I feel like she has a kind of like a defined like profile, you know, which like I feel like works really well, especially with her big for being the lead. But it's like Molly, she already has the green hair, you know, and so I'm like, and if she's the weird girl, like she's gonna
Yeah.
be like not just doing
Oh
the same
no.
thing every day. I imagine her like really like thinking about like, ooh, what's like a cool way I can express myself and like
Mhm.
yeah, I do her pretty frequently with, like, either, like, some cool buns or, like, she's got, like, just, like I don't know, it's like there's, like, something playful going on with, like, the way that she expresses herself, which I think is really cool.
Yes. Oh, I love them so much.
Yeah, they're
Oh,
awesome.
I have such big feelings. And
Oh,
speaking of big
yeah.
feelings,
Oh my god, segue.
um, we we so in this book and even in the other book, both books, we talk up a lot like there's a lot of like emotion and there's a lot of feeling and there's a lot of like this is a big old book of feeling and also a monster book. And I think my question to you is first, we like again, there's a lot of feelings in here, but
Mhm,
like I'm gonna like trigger warning a lot of the feelings that are talked about in this book just for like a hot second.
mhm,
There's a little bit of depression.
mhm,
There's a little bit of abandonment issues.
mhm.
There
A little
is a
bit.
little bit, yeah, a little bit. just just to pique the interest.
Mhm, mhm,
Um, there is, queer identity and also, like, potential, like, death topics,
mhm,
and there are a whole bunch of stuff.
mhm,
There's a whole bunch of stuff, a whole bunch of emotions, a
mhm.
whole bunch of topics, and a whole bunch of feelings. And for Charlotte, again, this is a mini spoiler, she feels most of this.
Yeah.
Um Mostly the abandonment issues, mostly the feelings of, like, kinda grief and how to deal with that. Even though we don't see it, like, outward, it's still, like,
Mhm,
lingering in the background somewhere. Um, and she deals with, like, her a little bit of depression as well, especially, like, with everything that's been happening to her and, like, everything that is going to happen to her. It's just a lot. But yes, my question to you is, I guess for the both of us, is like, how have we both kind of like, as a writer and an artist, kind of like honed in
mhm.
on those emotions? Was there ever a point to when you were like reading it, and I'm so sorry if there was, but there was there ever a point in reading it where you were just like, oh, that's like, mm.
I mean, yes, but, like, in a way that was exciting, not like I don't know, it's like it is I mean, when I got to look at the project first, you know, it's like that those are the things that I love when something has, like, horror and mystery elements, but also, like, I think that that needs to be paired with, like, some sort of, like, emotional journey, and so I was excited that it had both. Um, and, like, I liked all the, like, friendship stuff and how messy, like I don't know, I feel like especially thinking about being a young person, it is so easy to have kind of, like, black and white thinking, of, like, something happens and instead of like, at the beginning, we learn that, like, her friends have been away for a while, and it's so easy to be like, "Okay, they abandoned me," instead of being like, "Well, what are, like, the reasons and what could they be feeling?" And, yada, yada, yada. And, like, I mean, it's easy if you can be like that too as an adult, but it's, like, especially as a kid where you haven't had all these, like, life experiences, to teach you about that and teach you about, like, really trying to be open to how other people are experiencing stuff. Um, yeah, I don't know, I feel like it's, like it was already a rich text, and I feel like you were good at, like even moments where in the script it wasn't like, I feel like there were times where you said what people were feeling, but other times where it was just kinda clear from, like, dialogue and stuff. Um, and yeah, I don't know, that was exciting, and, like, it's as, like, a illustrator, it is fun to draw people with, like, faces that are, like, or, like so it's, like, the hard feelings are often the most fun, expressions to draw as well.
There was also can I wanna show this page so
Oh my
badly
god, yeah.
because I think that it's 'cause the way you drew Vincent here's the thing, um, Vincent is Charlotte's dog. I love this fucking dog so much. I love him down. It's my d technically, like, when I wrote this dog, it's my dream dog that I dream about
Oh.
sometimes. I love this dog. But here's a small spoiler of what happens in the book because I need to show people Vincent's face because it is the cutest thing I've
Oh.
ever seen. But at the same exact time, every other expression that Ashley has drawn in this book is so wonderful. And you not only, like, see it, but, like, obviously, like, you read it, but, like, when you see it, it's so, like, expressive and so wonderful. But can I just, like, look at this little
Oh.
face. Look at him. I am obsessed with him.
Oh.
I love him so much. Vincent is Vi Vincent.
Oh, I love a little
Vincent.
animal companion, that, like, there's so much to that, like a kid and their dog and, like or, whatever
Yeah.
the animal companion is. That's, like
Yeah.
it's so fun. I don't know, it's fun to, like, know how far to, like, push their expression since, like, I guess, like, dogs have a pretty limited range of expressions, but, like, like, it's a comic, but also, like, if you know your dog, you're like, I know what you're thinking, I know what's going on there."
Yeah.
If they're looking guilty or they're looking excited or whatever.
Especially, like, some it's some of the parts, like, him and Charlotte talking to Vincent, like, they
Mm.
were having, like, full-blown conversations, and
Mhm.
I was just like, "Yeah, I used to do that with my cat all the time." And,
Oh,
like,
yeah.
every time he would, like, meow, I'd be like, "Yeah,
Yeah, dude.
exactly. Mhm. Can't believe that.
Yeah.
But same." Like, "What the hell, dog?" But, um,
Can I ask
I guess
you a question?
yeah. Yeah, of course.
How were there any moments while writing this story, like, initially, that you were, like, worried about maybe, like, going too far into certain, like, difficult emotions or, like I don't know, like, how was it navigating knowing, like, how to balance a comic that is, like, it's, like it's got, like, spooky fun vibes, but also, like, there's so much emotional depth. Just, like, what was that like, and were there any, like, moments where you're like, "Ooh, like, should I do that?" Or, like, "Should I push that farther?" Or yeah.
Um, that's a good question. There was I think I think overall it was the relationship between Molly and Charlotte.
Mhm.
Um, because here's the thing, like, all of us have experienced, like, some kind of, like, breakup,
Mhm.
fall apart, and then breakup, come back together, or friendship come back together,
Mhm.
but I think it's really I was kind of worried and really scared, especially first writing it and, like, kind of pitching it out, where I was just like, "I don't wanna make it seem like this is gonna be an easy ride for Charlotte," because, like, she
Mm.
does feel a lot of different emotions, and the really one true one is
Mhm.
abandonment, because, like, we get a little bit of her back history, and there is kind of, like, this like, line through of 3 people in her, or technically 4 people in her life that she's scared of being reabandoned by,
Mhm. Mhm.
or just being, or 1 person, actually technically 3, but
Mhm.
1 person of being abandoned by
Mhm.
in the future.
Mm, mhm.
Um, and I think I was a little bit, like, scared of what that could look like for kids.
Mm.
Because I'm like, I know what that looks like. I knew what that looked like for me as a kid. But I don't know what that could aim
Mm.
for kids now.
Mhm.
Um, and I had, like, long talk again, shout out to Kelsey, but, like, I had long talks with it about, like, it with Kelsey,
Mhm.
and it just kinda came both to the conclusion that, like, it felt right,
Mhm.
and it felt really good for me to be able to, like, get that out, because, like, I having, like, abandonment, like, issues, and, like, having people just, like, being scared that somebody's gonna leave you, and then also somebody leaving and then coming
Mhm.
back, and then, like, you wrestling with those emotions of, like, I want them as a friend, but, like, what if they leave me again? So you push them away and all of
Mhm.
this stuff. It's difficult,
Mhm.
and it's a thing that's, like, not really talked about as
Yeah.
much. You just think that, like, friendships just break
Mhm,
up
mhm.
and stuff like that, but what about, like, the stuff that's, like, going on? So,
Mhm.
like, I was scared of I was also scared of people seeing Charlotte as, like, hard,
Mm.
or hardened,
Mhm.
um, especially because we do have, like, a strong Black female
Mhm.
trope, like, within all of us, so it's kinda one of those things where I wanted to have her emotions, and
Mhm.
I wanted to honor every single bit of her emotions within the pages, but I never wanted her to have to be strong for anybody else's sake except for her,
Yeah.
because she is feeling all of this stuff, and all of her feelings are valid. Even spoiler, her dad's the dopest person ever. Like, they have a really spectacular conversation. Spectacular conversations.
Mhm.
There's 2 really important
They're so
ones
sweet. I
that,
love it. Yeah.
yeah, like, Raymond kinda hits a part of Charlotte where it's kinda just like, "Oh, yeah, I needed to hear that."
Mhm.
So, it was really important for me also. If there's anything I needed to tie up with a bow, it was
That
that,
makes sense.
because that's why I was also like, communication with a
Mhm.
kid is key, communication with an adult is key. Like, having these, like, your parents are your parents, even
Mm.
if you're, whatever, but, like, I wanted that to be a thing where they talk,
Yeah.
because I that representation of a parent actually being able to talk to a kid and just being like, "I understand what you're feeling, but you have to tell me too."
Mhm.
Like,
It's like a two-way
it works
street.
both ways.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um, but that was the thing that I was, like, most terrified of, but at the same time,
Yeah.
I'm like, "Hey."
I think it worked really well, and I think I can see that where it's like all this stuff is happening, and there are moments where she has to, like, do the scary thing, so has to be strong in that way, but it is always acknowledged that it is the scary thing. Like, it's never like,
Mhm.
"And she doesn't care, she's gonna just do it," it's like every
Yeah.
time that something difficult happens, we get to see even just, like, a little bit of, like, her reacting to it and being nervous or being afraid or, like yeah, and I like that the person who like, she has people to be strong for her, which is awesome to see. Um, and yeah, I feel like it's both, like I think it's, like, kind of, like there is that moment where, um, Raymond really says something that, like, really cuts to the heart of, like, her feelings, but also like, it still isn't tied up in a bow, and that, like, even when you're able to, like just, like, as a person, like, intellectualize the feeling and understand why it's still there.
Mhm.
Like, it might become, like, a little, like, lessened with that knowledge, but I feel like we're left with, like yeah, she might, like, understand why she's reacting in these certain ways, but it's like that feeling is still there, that hurt is still there, even though she's choosing to, like, do things to overcome it. It's like it's never
Mhm.
just like, "Okay, now I'm done with that," It's which I feel like is
Yeah.
so human, and it's so important for kids to see that, like that is, like that's just so much more real that you, like, as a young person, as any person, like, can learn why something is bothering you or learn, like, these, like tricks or these like skills, these emotional skills,
Yeah.
and you can make decisions to like overcome or to get past stuff, but it's like none of that makes it just go away. Like that's like something you have to
Yeah.
continuously work on when it comes to like difficult feelings, which I think is shown really well in the book. And that's
Yeah.
like something kids need to not just like learn once, but it's like that's why like having, a multiple well, like, a vast multitude of experiences shown in fiction for young people is so important because it's like, if I'm told a lesson once, like, am I gonna internalize that? Like, no, I'm gonna be like, "Whoa, that was cool, okay, like, that's a good idea," and then it's like, it's gone, like,
It's gone.
you need to keep telling me, keep showing me different versions of something. Not that, like, the book is, like, didactic, it's not a lesson, but it's like
Yeah.
it's like one of the elements to it is just like seeing the reflection of like a character struggling with something that like even if you don't have at all the same specific, like triggers or like issues that Charlotte's having, it's like just seeing
But you
someone
could
work through
see
something,
it.
is
Yeah.
and like work through something in different ways can like offer you so
Yeah.
much. Like,
And, like
okay. No,
no,
I
no,
was gonna
no,
say,
you
yeah,
go.
like so much like knowledge and reflection. Like it doesn't have to be one or the other.
Yes. And, like, there was another scene as well that, like, kinda made me a little bit nervous and then, like, speaking off what you said too, like, the Molly and Charlotte scene where and this is kind of like another thing of an emotion, and this is gonna be a small tangent. I was pissed as a kid when Big Bird was not believed, with Mr. Snuffleupagus.
Oh,
I was
yeah.
upset as a kid, and I think I brought a little bit of
That's so
that
real.
with this book because the one thing that, Charlotte has held on to for a very long time is this one belief, right? This one whole belief, and the fact that a person who she sees as one of her best friends doesn't believe her in that truth really kind of amps up the issues of abandonment.
Yeah.
And I that was another scene that I was very scared to I wanted to I just it was scary to write because I wanted it to come across as like these are these are gonna be these are things that
Mhm.
like get like I thought it you probably thought it like the feeling of not being believed
Mhm.
plus on top of that you left me
Mhm.
that it's just a pile up. It's
Yeah.
a double pile up. Like it's too much. So having her again, like kind of like deal with it and like obviously like she says some things that like, you know, she doesn't necessarily mean, but at the same exact time, it's the hurt and
Mhm.
it's the feelings and it's what she needed to do. Like, it's almost kinda going into fight or flight.
Mhm.
It's just like, "I came to you with this. You have long since, like, just
Yeah.
like, are you gonna help are you gonna help or are you not?" Like, and it's kinda just like, "Now I'm gonna say, like, nasty shit to you." Like, it's one of those things. So, I mean, I have to beat myself a couple of times in that
Beep,
in
beep,
that
beep,
editing
beep.
booth.
Yeah.
But,
No, for sure.
yeah, but it was like that was also another thing that I was just kinda like, like, I wanted like, I never want her to f I never want anybody to look at her and go, like, "She's not dealing with it," because 'cause I'm just
She's
like,
dealing with
"She's
it.
been dealing
Yeah.
with it."
I think it's
Like
clear that she's dealing with it, and even the moments where she's trying not to, it's, like, almost even more obvious, which is,
Mhm.
like, so
Yep.
true to life when it's, like, you're like, I'm not bothered by this thing, I'm whatever, it's, like, that's when you're, like, "I see you, I see that
I
it's getting
I
you."
peep you.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I like, I got your
Yeah,
card.
I see it.
Don't do that.
Mhm, mhm.
Um, speaking of, I think this is, like, a really good kind of part to go because 'cause I'm very curious about this, and we're gonna talk about, like, middle grade graphic novels a
Mhm.
little bit, like, before we end, but I think okay, I'm curious to know, was it different drawing for, like, the middle grade crowd than it was for adult? Because I know
Mm.
you work
Mhm.
spectrums.
Y I think I mean, yes, definitely. Um, it's like okay, something that I did when I first knew I was gonna take on this project was I was like, "Okay, let me, like, engage more with middle grade, because like, I like middle grade comics, and I read comics for all ages. And now that I, like, have been a bookseller for a while, I do read a lot of stuff for, like, younger people. But I was like, "Let me intentionally like, read things that are in the world of what this project is, um, because I like it's like I've done adult and I've done YA, and there are, like, things I took, but then there are other things that I was like for example, there is, like, a middle grade style in graphic novels, like, for sure, and I think I mentioned this last time or, like, one of the first times we talked on this, but, like, I was like, "Okay, cool, like, I can do more simple backgrounds." Cool, because it's like, that's, like, pretty normal in middle grade, but then I started working on it, and I'm like, "This is just not how I work," and so I feel like I had to kinda, like, get an idea of the boundaries, but I did not stay in them. Um, but I think the one positive is that I was a little nervous about doing stuff that was scary and, like, knowing how scary I could get because it's like I don't know, it's like it's people can be so intense about what they think children and young people can handle, and it's, like, easy to forget what it was like to be a kid and, like, what kind of media, like, I liked as a kid, and so at first I was like, "Ooh, I gotta, like, baby it up a little bit, make it a little more easy and palatable." And it is like, yeah, I wanna make things less extreme, but, like, I don't wanna, like, I'm not gonna show a bunch of gore or guts or whatever, but it is,
I get
like,
that.
also not making it babyish and, like, reading some pieces of media, like, I was thinking about, like, something I read a couple of, like, middle grade horror novels, including The ~�𝗏𝗄𝗅 by, Laura Senf and Dan Poblocki's, Tales to Keep You Up at Night, and those both get so
Mm.
scary, and, like, I was remembering, like, being a kid and, like, how much I liked the goosebumps that were a little more extreme, and I liked, um, what is it? the big one, Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark, and how scary the
Oh,
art
yes.
is. The old art is so good and scary, and they've re-released it with, like, babyish art that is not good. Not, like, like, it is technically good, like, good like, that person is not bad at drawing, but they just, like, were not given there was just no need to redraw them, but whatever,
Mm.
and so just, like, getting more in touch with, like, what I could handle as a kid, I felt like helped me not rein myself in so far that it would be, like, a disservice to young people who are seeing this title and they're like, "Ooh, monsters," you know? And then it's like, I don't wanna give them, like, Oscar the Grouch or something, you know? It's a werewolf. It's gonna be scary. Um, so, like, it's different, but it's like, I think, like, connecting with yourself at that age, if you don't have, like if you're not, like, a parent or someone who spends time with, like, kids that much is, like, a helpful way to know kind of, like, where the boundaries are. And also, like, some kids don't like scary stuff at all, and that's fine, this book's not for them. Like, all
Yeah,
pieces of
yeah.
media, their things are for some people and not for others.
You could pick up anything else.
Yeah. You can read
But what we need
Dog Man, and that's cool.
you can
No
read
shade to Dog Man.
Dog
Like,
Man.
you
Oh,
should
yeah.
also read Dog Man. Wait, no, he's a cop. I don't know, whatever. You should read Captain Underpants.
Catman's not. Cat Kid
No,
isn't.
and I think that later Dogman becomes a non-cop. Like, I think that's just his origin story. Okay,
Do I need to read Dog
I've never read
Man?
Dogman. I read a bunch of Captain Underpants when I was a kid, obviously, because I was the right age for that. But then I saw the
Yeah.
Dogman covers, and, I'm stocking them at the bookstore, and, like, the first few volumes, he's got his little cop outfit on, but then later, he looks a little bit more like a superhero, and I'm like, "Oh, did he leave the force? That's cool. Maybe. I hope." Um,
I I don't know why immediately I thought of all the Paw
oh
Patrol,
my god,
like,
yeah.
animals, and I need them to leave the forest
No, leave the
immediately.
force.
Leave the
Like, maybe that
forest.
wasn't a good example, but you know what I mean.
I do.
There's stuff for everyone, and if there isn't, there should be more stuff,
Yeah,
not less stuff.
100%.
And you've, like, pretty much stayed in this realm, right? In the, like, middle grade-ish. Oh my gods, would you consider that middle grade, or is it, like, kind of early YA?
Um, I think ooh, that's a really good question. I kinda consider it a little bit of early YA.
Mhm.
Like, if you're going to go into, like, learning about Greek mythology and stuff
Mhm.
like, that's a really nice, like, little
Mhm, mhm,
segue from, like, middle school to YA.
mhm.
But I know, like, it was marketed, like, 8 through 12,
Yeah.
so I think it's, like, still middle
Mhm.
grade. Um, yeah, but I would consider it being
Okay, yeah, it's kind of like a straddler, which is cool.
yeah, yeah. But yeah, I stayed here.
It's your house. I'm visiting your
I
house.
stayed
This is your house.
I stayed here. I would like to venture out of here at some point. Hopefully I do. But at the same exact time, like I think that this is gonna sound so cliche and kind of strange. It was kind of just like I like writing for middle grade because of all of this stuff that y you have to experience as a kid, and kinda like how you said too, like, tapping into, like I think a lot of why I stayed in middle grade is tapping into what I liked as a kid and trying to show that to other kids
Mhm.
so that they don't feel like, "Oh my god, wait, no, I like weird stuff.
Mhm.
Why don't I see anything that looks like me?" And it's just like, "No, I got you because I
Yeah.
was the weird girl in the back of the class talking about Jason Voorhees and being like, "I'm gonna marry him." Why?
No, don't do it.
Incha,
Don't do it,
young
Insha.
Incha, that was weird. You can't even
Oh,
swim.
no. He can't either, so you're the same. That's his whole thing, he can't swim. So maybe you should get married.
Just just a nothing ass wedding. Um, but, um, but it's a weird it's really weird to write. I will say this with my full chest too, it is very weird to write for middle grade because I'm kind of used to looking at things so cinematically from, like, an adult lens now,
Mhm.
and, like, all of my experience of horror have always been through a lens of just kinda, like my first 2 horror movies was Rosemary's Baby and The Exorcist.
Mm.
We could tell where what it was what
Mhm.
made this. Um, so I always try even writing for middle grade, I struck a good balance, and what I find scary and cool, toning that down a little bit, but finding what gross stuff that kids like, 'cause
Mhm.
kids like gross.
Mhm.
Um, but at the same exact time, I think my worry with middle grade isn't not how scary I can be, but it's how emotional I can
Mm,
be.
mhm.
It's how emotional I can be without it going over, but then also kind of, like, doing that thing where it's just like, "Oh, like, you could be emotional, but, like, you can't be, like, this emotional. Or
Mm.
you could be scary, you can't be this scary."
Mhm.
I did worry about our chase scene
Mhm.
and the werewolf scene because I was just
It's
like,
scary.
"It's really scary," and I was just like, "Oh, no.
Yeah.
Oh, oh, no." Seeing the pages, I was like, "Oh, yes."
Yeah. Good. It was fun to draw. Yeah, I was thinking about that too. I was like, "Okay, like, how can I was trying to do a bit of a there's, like, moments where there's, like, some shadow going on and some, like, "Ooh, we get a little close up of something," and so it's not, like, super gory gross, and I was definitely thinking of, like, those cinematic influences of, like, okay, I'm picturing instead of the Hays Code, it's, like, the PTA code or whatever. Uh
That's
But
so
it's like,
good.
how can I,
Oh,
like, get
no.
that tension and get the fears while still working in this realm of, like, somewhat acceptable for people who are not, like, book banning freaks or whatever, like, just, like, people who are kinda regular
Yeah.
parents, regular teachers or whatever. Um, and yeah, I feel like it's that's, like, one of those reasons why it's so good to, like, have your media diet be so, like and your influences be, like, if you're making comics, like, watch movies, read novels, blah, 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 do all the other things because it's, like, you can pick
Mhm.
so much from all the different mediums, and, like, there's moments where, like,
Yeah.
you do have to not censor, but, like, just know just make sure that you have some sort of borders in place so that, like, they weren't gonna send the pages back and be like, "No, no, no," or
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah. There's, like, a bunch of times too where it's just kinda like, you gotta pull back on
Mhm.
this, and it's one of those things where it's like when you write it or you wanna draw it or anything like that, like, you think that it's gonna be okay, but, the changing, you
Mhm.
shift and you sway and you change, according to, like, whatever editor you
Yeah.
have or whatever person is, like, looking at it, and that's a little bit more easier to do, in that moment than because when it goes out into the world, everybody is just like, "What is
Yeah.
this? What is this?" And it's just kinda like, I don't feel like dealing with the "what is this?"
No.
I feel like I just want people to be able to vibe with what we created because 'cause we've created something so dope.
Yeah. And it's as
Like
long as it reaches some of those kids, then that's what matters, and the other stuff is like,
Mhm.
I don't know, if you like if as long as they let us put it out, I'm happy.
Yeah, yeah. And the second book is gonna be even
It's gonna
better.
be so
Yay!
good.
Um, it's gonna be so good. Um, here's a last
Okay.
question that I had for you because I thought it was a silly question, but I also thought it was a really cute question. What is a middle grade adventure that you went on that you'd like to share?
Um, I feel like this is hard because I was such a even though this is like we talk about kids on bikes so much, I was like, yeah, I was doing kids on bike stuff when I was like a little kid. But I feel like once I was middle grade age, I was kind of an indoor kid. I don't know if you could tell just by looking at me. I feel like I have indoor kid vibes, like, I didn't play any sports, like, I wanted to just be at home reading manga, like, if we're going out, we're going to the library, um, or, like, the mall. But, I think I'm gonna count this as, like, within the realm of I could be a middle grade character, I'd be, like, reaching kind of the end bound of it. But
Mhm.
the summer between, uh, the end of 8th grade and freshman year, I went to my first anime convention, and, this is, like, aging me a little bit, but the, like, big which is fine. I'm the perfect age, of person. But, the big band at the concert was 𝘗𝘗𝑒𝑠 who sang one of the best Inuyasha themes, like, ending themes, and I had my first kiss at the concert.
Aw, that's so
And that's
sweet.
I feel
Oh
like that
my
could be a scene
god.
in a middle grade, like, in, like a, Babysitter's Club or something.
Yes. Oh my god. Aw, that's so
Thank
sweet.
you. Romance. Yeah, it's my romance, middle grade book. Okay, give me yours, Insha, give me a
Give me
middle grade adventure, please.
if you can't tell, I also was an indoor kid. I I was I was the girl who just wanted to go to the video store. I was
Mhm.
like, "Hey, it's a day of the week. I don't know what day it is. Can we
Let's
go to the
go,
video
me too.
store?" Um, but there were 2 that I remember. One is traveling to we have this thing in New Jersey called the Gates of Hell, which is supposed to be the entrance of hell. Now, I was an indoor
Mhm.
kid. I shouldn't have been outside, and I shouldn't definitely not have gone rolling through tunnels.
Ah! Okay.
Like, that was a weird
Yeah.
thing. So, with a couple of my friends, we went to the Gates of Hell. We roamed, like, halfway through the tunnels, and I was just like even as a kid, I was just like, "My spirit doesn't agree with this, I'm gonna leave now."
Mm.
So, like, I doubled back, and then I ended up waiting for them at the waterfall, and a lovely, lovely lady just came and sat down next to me, and, like, we were waiting for my friends, and, like, she was telling me about, like, um what the gates of hell kinda, like, meant to the town and all of this other stuff, and I was just like, "Are you, like, my personalized weird New Jersey magazine? Like, what is going on here?" But she was so lovely. Shout out to her if she ever wants like, if she ever watches this, if she's okay. But yeah, shout out to you. Don't go in the tunnels, man.
Yeah, tunnels are I was waiting for you to be like, "And then I realized she was, like, invisible," or whatever. "I looked at her hand and it
Probably.
was see-through." She's not like a ghost. She's the ghost of the
Probably. I
tunnel.
like, when my friends came back, like, she kind of just, like, up and left, and, like, when she went between, like, the trees, I was just kinda like, "Oh, okay, bye." And then, like, it just felt like, I don't know if anybody's ever seen, like, The Sopranos Pine Barrens, episode. It kinda felt like
Mhm.
that. So we have, like, another thing in New Jersey called the Pine Barrens. Don't go there by yourself. Just don't
Okay.
do it. But it's like a row of trees and stuff like that that's just, like, out in South Jersey. Anyway, so the second thing was more of an insular
Mhm.
thing where we used to go to this video store near my house all the time. I used to love it. It was an independent video store for, like, Hollywood Video and stuff like that popped up near us. And that guy had a
Mm.
Chucky doll. And I remember wanting that Chucky doll so badly that every single time I would go in there, I would ask him for it. But then I would go into the horror aisle, and then I would see the Leprechaun
Oh my god.
DVD or the Leprechaun, like,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
VHS, and I would hate that. I'm just like, "Why do I love this, but I hate that?" I had nightmares
He's
about the Leprechaun movie.
scary.
He's
He's scary, and he
terrifying.
looks like he would be, like, yucky. Eh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, I remember having, like, such nightmares about him, and my dad was just like
But you want the Chucky
The
doll? Yeah.
Leprechaun didn't, but I wanted the Chucky doll
That's
so
so
bad, and
funny.
then I watched Leprechaun,
Yeah. I don't want
and I
yeah, he's
hated it.
yucky.
So
He's
gross.
gross. That's awesome, though.
But it's yeah, that was, like, the I was also an
Yeah.
indoor kid. I never had, like, any experiences in middle school that it didn't that if I had to go outside, it was against my
Yeah,
will.
I was, like, trying all my abilities to, like, get at a gym and stuff, like, just very, like, a stereotype of an indoor kid.
Yeah. Like, "Oh, no, my leg hurts.
Yeah.
You can't take me
And
now. I
they're
can't
like, "You
run."
literally have to go get on the track."
But, you know, what if I
Yeah,
fall? That's a
yeah.
liability.
It's your fault that my leg's gonna fall off.
They can all yeah, they can all hurt me. What if they
Oh
crush me? I'm
god.
just saying, these are all
They are.
possibilities in gym class.
It's dangerous.
But, um, but I guess here's what we're gonna do. We're also gonna do this probably on Instagram as well. So for our last episode, we are gonna do like a little Q&A. So
Mhm,
if you have any questions that you would like for us to
mhm.
answer, or if you have anything that you would like to tell us, or if you want to just email me a snippet of audio for Devilfish Bay Radio that
Ooh.
isn't
Yeah, don't
weird.
be weird, don't do heavy breathing. Don't do that's the big one.
Don't do weird
Yeah, don't
mess
be
Yeah, don't do weird
freaky.
messages. Don't I will Chris Hansen you and tell you to take a seat in a heartbeat.
Don't
Don't
do
do
it.
that. So I will have the email that I still need to make, um, below somewhere, and, if you would like to do that, that's A-okay. If you don't wanna do that, that's also
Mhm,
A-okay. But if you wanna ask us a bunch of
mhm.
questions, we can answer them in our last
Yeah.
episode, and then we'll see where this takes us when the second book comes out. But
Wee!
for now, I have been Insha. I am the author of this little ditty, this little granddad, this little baby, and I was joined by
I have been Ashley Robin Franklin, the illustrator of this bad boy right here.
Go buy it.
Buy it.
It comes out on July
That's
28th.
so
Go buy it.
soon. It's gonna be even
It's
sooner
so
when this
soon.
drops, which is amazing.
I know.
Ask us questions though, and
Oh,
good
let's
questions that are smart and
yes.
fun to answer.
Yes. Do it. Do it, do it, do it. Look at her. She looks
She's
terrified of your
scared.
questions,
You've scared her.
right? Oh, no. What? See you guys next time. Bye.